I need Anton Sokolov, but he's missing. Held by another inventor named Kieran Jindosh, who no doubt wants whatever secrets Sokolov holds in his head. Jindosh is the mad inventor who brought clockwork killing machines to Karnaka. They say he's got the most brilliant mind in the Isles. And it may be true, but a smart man wouldn't be standing in my way. I've got to find out where Sokolov's being held and bring the old man back alive. Rescue one genius and kill the other before he creates an army of clockwork soldiers. Ramsey and the Crown Killer. 2 pieces of the puzzle. More to go. As assassins go, the Crown Killer was messy, vulgar. The Duke wanted people afraid. At least the Crown Killer won't be taking any more lives. Sorry, Doctor. We'll find you, Anton. Jindosh invented the Silvergraph. Clever man. His invention's likely to outlive him. Clockwork soldiers must cost a fortune. If Jindosh finds a way around that, he'll make an army. Jindosh lives in Upper Aventa. I'll have to take the carriage to reach his mansion.
Ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's get underway. Jindosh is important to the Duke's inner circle. The Grand Guard watches his mansion, harassing people who look like trouble.
You said there's a wall of light cutting off access to the carriage station.
Yes, but there's a black market shop nearby. They sell on the sly. Ever use a rewiring tool?
Yes, but it's been years.
Good. Get past the wall of light, then ride the carriage to where Jindosh lives. And there's a reason people are afraid of his mansion.
I'll see you after it's done.
Corvo, take care of this crazy man and his clockwork soldiers, then bring Sokolov back. He means a lot to me. Something familiar about you.
I've been away from Karnaca for a long time. I need a rewire tool, like the ones used by the Grand Guard. No questions. Clear?
Yes, sir. But I can't help you right now. I have people coming in, and I can't be responsible for their manners if you take my meaning. Paolo is coming by. See me later.
Understood.
I think he's here. Hide yourself. They'll see you if you try to leave. Find a place to hide and we'll do business afterwards. It's too late to run. I'm begging you, hide until Paolo's gone. He'll hurt you.
I need 8 new cutters, short blades, the good stuff. Morley steel.
I know what you mean.
Do you? Because last time, you gave me some backwater foundry garbage that wouldn't hold an edge, and snapped against Grand Guard armor.
I got taken on that deal too. But I'll make it up to you, Paolo. Lop off maybe 10%?
30. Because I like you. By next week.
That's fair. I made a bad faith trade and I regret it. You'll have the cutters, I promise.
Good, good. These are strange times. Overseers in the Dust District, a witch empress, and these clockwork soldiers protecting the aristocracy. All bad for business. But if I get my way, Karnaca will be a different city a year from now. Who do we have here? What's the mask for?
Walk on. You won't like how this ends.
Oh, that's not how it ends? How does it end then? With an old man giving me advice in my own damn city, then being force-fed his ugly mask? Because that sounds like something I'd like a lot.
That mask
I'll
will
cut
look
you
great
in
in my
half.
collection.
Time to die.
Take it on.
I used to own a cafe down at the docks. The smell of fish oil was stronger than the smell of morning coffee. I had to sell it. Welcome. What just happened?
Witchcraft. He's more than just a petty thug, isn't he?
Come in. I might have what you've been asking for.
Karen Jindosh, the Duke's grand inventor. Once he was commissioned to make a toy for a 6-year Tivian noble girl. Jindosh worked for 3 months and built a machine composed of wood, brass, and the bones of several cats. It ran on a few drops of whale oil a day. The little girl was told she would have a special treat, and she was perfectly delighted until the moment it was activated. She lives in an asylum up at Dabakfa now, and will until the end of her days.
Thing it after this. Give me a handful of the clockworks and I'll clean up the dust district. Maybe the tall boys were better from the time of the rat plague. They made people stand up straight. Times change. If the Duke has his way, we'll have an army of the clockwork soldiers by this time next year.
I've known people like Jindosh. Broken children who'd cut up cats to see how they worked. Jindosh, it's time to pay for what you've done, and maybe I can find Sokolov.
Welcome to my home, stranger. The door is always open to those with the will to pass the threshold. If you're here by appointment, then proceed and bide your time. Otherwise, I'd be remiss if I didn't inform you about the defensive mechanisms employed here, which are quite formidable. Many have entered without invitation, for reasons as myriad as the fish in the ocean. But of those who've dared to explore further, very few have found their way back out.
I'd love to see this thing choking Delilah to death. Who would build something like this, and why?
Someone's activated one of the mechanisms in my house.
Jindosh.
My home is always open. It's one of my great curiosities, seeing how the common mind navigates these shifting rooms. I'm Karen.
Barred from the other side.
I invite you. Now that I see you, I've worked out who you are. Not a hired cutthroat. Your clothes are too fine. An aristocratic thrill seeker? That's closer. You've trained with weapons formally, but you're not a salon fencer. There's a bit of back alley in your movements. All that, and only one man ever wore that mask, to my knowledge. Welcome, Royal Protector.
Obviously you're pleased with yourself. Do you know why I'm here?
I'd assume my involvement with the Duke brought you to my door. Or maybe you're after washed-up Anton Sokolov, comfortably residing in the assessment chamber. Either way, come find me and take whatever it is you seek. But if you fall, I'll have your body carried to my lab for dissection and study. Until either comes to pass, your secret is safe with me.
I'll see you soon, Jindosh.
Until then. Clockwork soldiers, there's an interloper in my home. Be careful. This was devised to test the limits of the Clockwork soldiers. Quite dangerous. If you're really looking for Sokolov, that old nag is around here somewhere.
Sokolov.
Only you could have come this far.
Megan helped me find you. We need to leave.
Jindosh has plans for an army of his clockwork soldiers. He can't be permitted to build it.
He won't. I'll be paying him a visit momentarily. Safest to take Sokolov back to the carriage before confronting Jindosh.
Freed Anton Sokolov. Sentimental about my creations, but I have to admit the sound of them shattering is getting under my skin.
All right. At least Sokolov is safe. Now for Jindosh.
So many events in motion, each exerting subtle gravity. With Delilah, a new empire could be drawn, and all the old barriers broken. Much could be accomplished. My clockwork soldiers have played their part, but each costs more coin than a wealthy man sees in a lifetime. It could take years to find a solution on my own. But if Sokolov can be tamed, together we might refine the process, making new clockworks at a fraction of the cost. Whether I seduce my old teacher with the thrill of discovery, or whether I'm forced to apply the clamps to his flesh and turn on the voltage, no matter. They say you're the most dangerous man in the Empire. I have learned much from watching you die. Shifting the walls and floors as if you were born here. Clever. Or are you just moving things at random? That's it. Closer and closer. I'm waiting. At last, Lord Protector, you found me. You realize you're only the second person to set foot in this room, the most sophisticated laboratory in the Isles. Please, try not to damage anything as you die. Clockwork soldiers, dispatch this intruder! I have important work to do. Playback for unambiguous enemy. Mechanism detached.
I want to smell some guts!
Audio commencing. Playback for comms detached. Magnetic or
Let yourself be
Okay, shut it down. The machine has lost its quarry. This blaze is
Welcome to the final mystery, Jindosh. The void again, but it feels different.
Surprised I can pull you into this place? The outsider marked me long ago. I made you flee your precious tower and turned Emily into cold stone. How difficult for you. But when I was young, sweet Jessamine and I were close as sisters, sharing a secret. Emperor Kaldwin had another daughter, born in shame to a kitchen maid.
What's she playing at? Maybe how is the question.
I told you, when you're older, perhaps next year.
You said that last year. Jessamine is younger than me, and she's in court every day.
Jessamine is, well, it's complicated. You'll understand someday.
What did I do? I'll be good. I swear.
Next year, I promise.
Jessamine and I played games in the tower, but at night I'd go back to the servants' quarters to cockroaches and thin gruel. Emperor Daddy would visit and tell me if I was good, next year I'd be old enough to come to court to be a princess. Then one day, pretty Jessamine broke something worth a fortune, and the spy master caught us. She claimed I did it, and he whipped me in the garden house until I bled. My mother lost her kitchen job, and that night we were out on the streets with no place to sleep.
I didn't break it.
Would you like to tell me who did?
We were just playing.
You're playing Jessamine. Who is here now?
It was her. Delilah's lie. She broke it.
I saw the nastiest parts of Dunwall, ending up in debtor's prison. Jessamine died quick on an assassin's blade, but my mother lingered for weeks after a fat guard broke her jaw. They threw me out when she died. I looked up at the lights of Dunwall Tower and swore revenge. Washing bedsheets in a brothel, I painted on the side, until Anton Sokolov took me as a student. That's the polite word for it. I was crafty even before the outsider marked me, and survived the worst the Empire could offer. Now it's your turn.
My mother's sick. She needs help.
Your mother kicked off while you were out begging. She's another bag of bones now, girl.
What? No!
Her sentence is served and she'll be tossed out with the others. You can't stay here anymore.
How much of this is true, and how much is Delilah's warped imagination? When I saw what they'd done to Anton Sokolov, I wanted to hurt everyone who'd helped Delilah and the Duke of Serkonos pull off their coup. Sokolov is the man who made whale oil into a weapon, who turned back the plague, and now he's barely able to speak. The hands that painted the most powerful men and women of our time shake too badly to hold a spoon. When he does talk, he's going to give me a name, the next step along the way to Duke Luca Abel, then Delilah herself. A name. That's all I need.
Even in the void, if only I could do more.
Jessamine, Delilah's stronger now.
Am I to blame for Delilah's bitterness?
All this is her doing, and she'll die for it.
Our decisions have weight. I feel my time drawing to an end soon.
Jindosh wanted me to help him with a rather complicated problem. It would have enabled him to make his clockwork soldiers at a fraction of the cost. Clever man.
Not clever enough. What's wrong with people like that?
A restless mind and an empty heart, perhaps. Jindosh would have snuffed me out as soon as he got bored. I appreciate what Corvo did for me, freeing me from that place.
I searched for you, Anton. I would have found you.
I knew you'd try, Megan. They kept me going after they gave me to Jindosh.
Either way, you're back now. I'm glad.
Anton, you've had 3 days to rest. Tell me how to kill Delilah.
They tortured him. His body is covered with bruises.
Delilah has the throne and she has Emily. Anton, once we had you in a cage and you dared us to kill you, I need that man back.
Corvo, she's right. I can make electricity move from one side of the room to the other, but Delilah is beyond my understanding. When I came to Serkonos, I meant to leave everything behind. But when the assassination started, I couldn't ignore it. By the time Megan and I connected the murders to the Duke, it was too late. The Crown Killer came for me. It kept me alive from my knowledge, but I saw things. Jindosh often had a visitor, Brianna Ashworth.
The curator of the Royal Conservatory.
Yes, Ashworth is dangerous. As obsessed with the occult as Delilah. Apparently, she's working on a device called the Oraculum.
There's more to her than either of you know.
If Ashworth is one of Delilah's lieutenants, I need to eliminate her. Who knows what this device is capable of, or what she's up to. Jindosh won't be making his army of clockwork soldiers. Shuttered to the public. Wonder what's going on inside the Royal Conservatory. The Duke's incompetence, or something more suspicious?
Wake me when Karnaca starts to burn. What a painting that will make. Maybe I should begin a series of bloodfly-related sketches. Infested corpses and the like. I've never paid a visit to the Royal Conservatory, but allegedly it has a number of unique pieces. The familiar creaks and groans of the dreadful whale. I lie awake listening, just to remind myself I'm safe again.
The closest path to the Royal Conservatory should be through Syria Gardens. Jessamine's face has never faded from my memory. Could Delilah truly be her sister?
I painted that from memory, which is a tricky thing. But I must admit to seeing some of the old Emperor's features in her face. It was long ago when I took Delilah in, whipped thin, angry and brilliant. With her obsession with the occult and the Caldwin family, took her out of my circles.
Delilah's paintings are chaotic, but she sculpts much better than you, Anton.
You knew Delilah? When were you going to tell me?
When you needed to know. My past is none of your business, Royal Protector.
Another lifetime. We all came to Karnaca for our own reasons, Corvo. Megan had hers too. I'm sure you understand the need for secrets.
We'll take the skiff. I don't want to bring the dreadful whale any closer than we have to. There is a small dock in Syria Gardens, close to the conservatory. That's as far as I can take you. Ready to go?
Yes, let's go.
There'll be a Grand Guard presence outside the Royal Conservatory. Inside, be prepared for anything. Ashworth runs with an eclectic crowd. They'll be the real danger.
Someday I'd like to know more about how you met Ashworth.
I know you would. Trust me. Ashworth is important to Delilah, which brings up something else. You might be able to exploit the Abbey of the Everyman in removing... Turns out the Vice Overseer in Karnaca has been watching Ashworth from a hidden outpost near the Royal Conservatory. Check it out first if you want more options. Remember, if she's still working with Delilah, Ashworth is a grave threat.
Thanks, Megan. See you soon.
No. The technical officer came by and said it was fine. He looked at the wall of light, then climbed up to check the windmill. All good. Why?
Yesterday, the wind kicked up so hard I thought the windmill was gonna fall apart. The wall of light was flickering and sparking like crazy.
I've seen that too. But whales run dry. The wind's unpredictable, but it's still better than a bunch of howlers running through the checkpoint and knifing us to death.
Yeah, I see your point.
Brianna Ashworth, curator of the Royal Conservatory. For a while, I believed Ashworth has some connection to the occult in Karnaca. Something is happening that The Overseers are the forward face of the Abbey, but equally important are our sisters from the Oracular Order. To be direct, I suspect something is wrong within their sect. Subtle changes to the types of proclamations they've been making. Small but troubling deviations from tradition. But publicly saying anything along those lines will get me accused of heresy by my rivals within the Abbey. Is it possible that Ashworth has infiltrated the Oracular Order?
So Vice Overseer Byrne thinks Ashworth is interfering with the Oracular Order. If true, it's another reason she has to be eliminated.
His wrists for all I care. Did you bring me something? The silver cigarette case like we agreed?
No, listen, I won't steal anything else. I'm lucky to have room and board at one of the finest places in Karnaca. I can't lose this job.
Oh, really? You like being a servant? Polishing and dusting?
The place smells of lavender and antique furniture. Not like the dust district where the soot makes your teeth gray.
Is that any way to talk about the place where we got our start, Beatrix? You're too good for street dust now. We'll see about that! No.
Look at you, leaving a trail of bloody boot prints across this dying city. Brianna Ashworth would have been miserable as a member of high society, forced to wed some bloated banker. Her only moments of real freedom, getting drunk at fancy balls, and slipping away to couple with strangers. It would have ended in an unhappy marriage and a late-night plunge into an icy river. But just before Mother and Father married her off, so many years ago, she found Delilah instead. It was all highways and graveyards after that, never looking back. Vice Overseer Byrne is an ambitious man, but he believes in the Abbey's mission, protecting the good people of the Empire against the likes of us. You know he'd be happier deep down if this ended with Brianna Ashworth's head on a spike. Maybe yours as well.
I need to find out how a sword through the heart wasn't enough to kill our new Empress, Delilah. Ashworth's journal might tell me more about why Delilah can't be killed.
The magic was lost, and the coven scattered. I made a new life in Karnaca. Then I heard her whispering from the void, leading me to the Duke, who heard those same whispers. Together we worked to bring Delilah back into the world, changing the Empire from the home of Aramis Stilton 3 years ago. Across the Isles, all of us who'd been with her at Brigmore and before, we felt the magic return. Others joined, new faces, new blood. Now, Delilah is immortal, forever. She holds Dunwall, and we've turned to corrupting the Oracular Order. The Overseers take guidance from their prophetic sisters, and soon we'll influence their dreams and visions.
This looks important. I wonder what it does.
That's not what he intends to do. He will carry them to the harvest market, as he swore he would. But the harvest will fail. I see it now, all is withered with light. Not rust upon all the fields east of Potterstead, and to the south, the fields burning. We must warn them. Burn the fields. Make a black line across the map to stop the light. Object of heresy, something crafted by apostate hands. I see stains under the fingernails, long line fingernails. Not blood, no, not wine either. It is the ink from a squid. A squid caught in the cold waters above the world, the western corner of Tinker, by sailors from the beyond, caught in a long line of red silk, drawn up from the dark waters below. No, not useful. Not useful alone, but I see the long, lovely hands again stained by the ink, raising the knife out of a box made of coloring. I cannot see what is contained within, but the King of Morning is there, in the room with the others, while his queen sleeps in their bed. The gates of Dunwall Tower, and they are dying. Delilah and her powder are not alone, but they are with the clockwork men. High Overseer Hulan orders the ancient music played, but it does no good. The clockworks are not things of heresy, sisters. The music has no effect. The overseers are fallen. The High Overseer is dragged away. He fights while there's strength in his body, even while the tears from his eyes. His eyes grow dull as the blood runs from his body. He waits to surprise the one who returns to Dunwall Tower. Only one of the overseers still bleeds, and he had a mission given by one of us, by one of the sisters, but he will fail, and we will never know the answer.
If I can sabotage Ashworth's communion device, she'll be powerless. If you knew about Delilah, you shouldn't have kept it from me. Jessamine, you'd laugh if you could see me now in this situation.
How did Jindosh die? Someone got inside that strange house of his.
I don't know, but forgive me.
No, my dear. It's a loss. I don't hear anything more to give us.
Someone there? This explains why the woman...
As if you could ever hide your face from me, Royal Protector. I see you there, back in the city that spawned you.
Brianna Ashworth is dead.
You murdering bastard! You had no right. You couldn't possibly understand what Brianna meant to me.
Just as I doubt you have any idea what I'd do to keep Emily from harm.
Perhaps I'll take a hammer to her tonight and drop the pieces over the side of a ship halfway to Pandysia.
I'm going to end your reign soon, Delilah.
Your sword can't still my heart, but I welcome you to try.
So it's done.
Ashworth won't be a problem anymore.
Good. But Corvo, there's something else. Back when I lived in Dunwall, I did things that I'm not proud of.
You live long enough, that happens.
Yeah. But what I did is worse than most. I knew Delilah and Ashworth. Bought into their bullshit, which led me down a bad road. To be honest, before all this, I thought Delilah dead. I don't want to get into it right now, but I felt like you should know. There are things I regret, Corvo.
Deception doesn't make for good allies, Foster.
Is that what you think, Royal Protector? You'll have to tell me all your secrets someday. Are you ready to leave now?
Yes, let's go. Take me back to the dreadful whale.
Another step toward the Duke of Serkonos and Delilah.